So then, as we look across, that is the Spaniard, Gregorio Lavia. Happy in the knowledge he's a paid rider for Airwaves Ducati for the rest of the year. They really couldn't do anything else, in my view, despite the fact it's harsh on James Hayden. But there is the domination of the Hondas, the HM Plant boys alongside the Hawk Kawasaki's. That's your front row. Oh, good start there, straight away from Rutter. Rutter and Keogh's up in the air. Number 6, Keogh in the air. Rutter, though, I think on the whole shot, but it looks like Richards. Not quite in the third place. Me and Neil Mackenzie both shouting, willing.
I think we were willing him in there. I was
willing him in, and that was an Airwaves Ducati that slotted into third place, I believe. Fourth place now, it's Gregorio Lavia. Lavia off the second row has gone into fourth place. That's a great start for the Ducati. Launched it just perfectly in front of Dean Thomas, the other Hawk Kawasaki. We're at Edwina's now. Watch for the tripping up in the back of your screen. Yes, somebody, nobody, everybody across the grass.
Michael Rutter went in there a little bit late, just being aggressive, and that's what he needs to be doing, but it was Keanari that benefited. He just ran a little bit wide on the exit, and Keanari was underneath him.
It's all about getting up that hill to this hairpin as quick as you can and put yourself into a braking position so you can slide out the inside. Then it's this short little dash down to this Mickey Mouse chicane just to slow them down before we come onto this bit. Devil's Elbow on the left-hand side of the tyre. An absolutely awesome corner. You can make such a mistake if you get it spinning just there. And the penalty, well, is fairly high, I have to tell you. So, as they come down the front straight here, that is the Kirkby straight into Gerrard's Corner, the famous Gerrard's Corner, the longest corner in any of the British Superbike.
Oh, that's Carl Harris.
And that is a big wreck. Carl Harris is a tough boy, but that would have knocked the stuffing out of him. So number 9, the HondaRacing.co.uk, and he got tripped up by Gregorio Lavia. Lavia down as well. So Lavia is out. Harris is out, and we'll be under a pace car because there's a lot of wreckage in the middle of the track, and the marshals have got a lot of work to do. Lap 2 of 30. A long way to go. That is a second-hand Honda.
That is a Fireblade absolutely destroyed there. Carl Harris is obviously winded, but hopefully all in one piece.
We are under a safety car. Carl Harris, well, he's a tough boy from Sheffield, but that will have drawn on all his toughness as the marshals sort this out. There is Colin Wright. Well, he couldn't have guessed when he spoke to us earlier on that his day would start quite as miserably as this. Gregorio Lavia is okay, which is fortunate. Just looking at his arm there, you can see a rip in his arm, so he's obviously torn that.
Lavia looked like he was in fourth position.
Here we go. Let's take
the Gerrard.
Oh, well, that's the same again. Well, we just don't know. It looked like Harris was right in contention with Lavia, but that bike is absolutely stuffed. They won't be adjusting that out for race 2.
Carl Harris is not in good shape, but it could have been so much worse if that bike had landed on him. Good to say that he was thrown clear.
So, Keanari will form up behind the safety car. Carl Harris just checking to make sure he can move his head, turn his head, and looks reasonably straightforward. Didn't knock himself out, which is a good thing, but that was a big off. That's something like coming into there 130 mile an hour on the way into that right-hander at Gerrard's, and that is, well, I mean, in the old days that barrier wasn't as far back as it is now. So pace car, and now this is an interesting situation. This pace car, when it goes round, when the lights go off, that means it's coming in. Now it comes in just exiting the Lake Esses, but the riders are not allowed to change positions, if they're in a position to change positions, until after the start and finish line. So they've got the hairpin, the bus stop and all that lot to do behind each other. So if anybody gets a little reckless in their interpretation of the rules, they will be penalised. Another point of fact, no drive-through penalties today, is all on-time penalties, because the pit lane here is so dangerous under normal circumstances. No drive-through penalties at all today.
Makes sense, makes sense.
Indeed. So there it is, race positions, top 6 as it was. Keanari, Rutter, Richards, Thomas, Palmer. That must be... I'm just working out how we got Palmer in there.
Number 17.
That must be...
Number 17 is Justin Palmer. Justin Palmer on the Vivaldi Kawasaki course it is.
It is, but the fact of the matter is I was trying to work out how he managed to do it.
Good start, obviously.
An incredible start.
But just, you could see Michael Rutter in that opening lap. He realises how aggressive he has to be, and just to get in front of Keanari, you just can't afford to let him get away. And you saw Keanari stretching away there. He's just been incredible through practice. The fast laps he's been able to do straight out of the box have been incredible, and Rutter did everything he could to get in front of him. Unfortunately, it didn't work out. But now he just needs to bolt himself onto the back. I just hope that he can go with them. Lights are out on the car, so it's just got to go through Edwina's and then it'll duck off to the right. It'll be interesting when Diana gets down in pit lane to find out about Carl Harris, of course, and Gregorio Lavia. I'm sure she'll be hunting those boys out. Right. Sorry, go on, Neil. Yeah, they have to be careful now. They've had a few steady laps, 3 steady laps, and only one major left-hander at this circuit, and that's the Devil's Elbow, and that's the corner they'll be lining up the start-finish for after the pace car goes in.
But they're not allowed to pass yet. They're not allowed to pass until they go across the start and finish line. Chianari has control of this restart because he's in front. They have to remain line astern until they fire it out of Devil's Elbow, and the line is a long way down, so you wouldn't want to really be passing until you've gone past the start and finish line, which is almost down the end of pit lane.
Michael Rutter made the best of that, though. He's very close, very close. And Glenn Richards there, menacing in 3rd position.
Glenn Richards and corner speed on that Kawasaki. I reckon Gerard's corner and Glenn Richards are something to behold. I went out and watched him round there on Friday when I had a bit of free time, and really looked superb. Mind you,
whoa!
And that's going to be big. Chianari.
Oh dear.
Chianari made a massive mistake there, got himself on the white line. The managing director of HRC is here, plus the chief engineer that designed the Fireblades is here too, and they will be hands on head. Chianari is out. Rutter leads from the 2 Hawk Kawasaki's, from the Vivaldi bike. The Vivaldi bike is out there. That's Tadayuki Okada and the Michelin guy, Daniel Crespien. So, a disaster for
Chianari, obviously very confident, just swung out to the right there to line up between his S's, but just swung out a little bit too far. Tommy Hill actually did that in practice. I saw him doing it through practice on Friday.
Oh, red flag. That was obviously a big one then. Red flag, they need to get towards Chianari. He's on a part of the track that's very awkward to get to without putting medical staff at risk from this lot coming down into Edwinas. So we have a race stoppage on laps shorter distance, so tyre wear-wise, we're not going to have a situation, I don't think, at the end of this race where tyres become an issue, which will be a much nicer scenario.
Yeah, I know.
But this year, Brogan, Danger Scouse, as he's known, that's Sean Emmett. He's right on it. Over the back there, you can see John Reynolds on the number 1 bike. We wait for the restart. 25 laps the race distance. 1.39 miles per lap. They come under orders.
I put my money on Glenn Richards this time.
Michael Rutter for me. There is the Stobart bike of Laverty. In fact, it wasn't. It was Jeremy McWilliams. So, into Gerrard's for the first time. Look at the start that Tristan Palmer's got.
Wow.
Unbelievable. Tristan Palmer goes into Gerrard's first, and it's a Hawk Kawasaki up the inside of Michael Rutter. Rutter falls back to 3rd place. Going to go back another place to be careful because Leon Haslam is menacing. Tristan Palmer, absolutely superb. Down towards Edwinas for the first time. Who's coming up the inside? It's going to be Richards. It's going to be Rutter. Takes the pair of them. Palmer goes 1st to 3rd, courtesy of HM Plant and Honda Power.
Michael Rutter squeezing through there. Glenn Richards right behind him. Much tidier opening lap for Michael Rutter this time. But look at that Vivaldi Kawasaki. Tristan Palmer in 3rd position. Leon Haslam in 4th, backing it into the hairpin.
Big time. Up the inside, I think. Who is
Tommy Hill. That's Tommy Hill.
Well.
Tommy Hill made an explosive start here last year. Brilliant round Mallory Park on that Virgin Yamaha.
That is superb. Tommy Hill, he was on the front row, of course. He's going to want to try and make his way past the 2 guys in front of him, Haslam and Palmer. But Michael Rutter easing away now. Well, in this interim period, I'll call it.
He's wide.
Very, very wide. Too wide for the dirty part of Gerrard's, because he doesn't half get mucky right out there.
And like you say, Glenn Richards good at turning that Kawasaki. That ZX10 looks brilliant on it here. Nice and smooth into Edwinas. Caught up to Michael Rutter there.
Emmett in 8th place, McGuinness in 9th place. But we are watching the Glenn Richards. Well, he's got that very distinguished style of where he sticks his elbows when he rides a motorcycle, and of course that might have been why one of them got slightly badly damaged last year. How can you get slightly badly damaged? Got badly damaged at Thruxton last year. Remember, he had a massive injury in the middle of the year, and we didn't see the best of Glenn Richards.
Tristan Palmer doing a brilliant job there in 3rd place, but you can see everyone backed up behind him. It looks like Leon Haslam got round the outside at Devil's Elbow there.
Well, I thought I might have given the kiss of death.
Oh, he didn't. Tristan Palmer holding his own.
And Leon Haslam almost wiped the rear wheel of Tristan Palmer there. Haslam having to run out wide because of that, and up underneath him, ever the opportunist. Tommy Hill comes through. Oh, Palmer out of seat. That's going to give Hill an opportunity. Down to Edwinas on the brakes.
Here comes Tommy.
Tommy Hill took a bit of a tumble here on Friday, just there. No problem in this particular part of the race.
Tommy grabbed the place there on Dean Thomas.
Lake S is already, Rutter is through, and Glenn Richards is through, and then it's battle for 3rd place. Tommy Hill looking for a way up the hill and up the inside of the hairpin, not able to get it unless Palmer bounces his way past. Look at these two already easing away at the front. And through has gone Tommy Hill, blasting it out of the hairpin, down towards the bus stop. That thing didn't half grunt then, did it? The R1 the Yamaha.
It really did. Rob Mack said the Virgin Yamahas, expected them to be better here, but they have struggled through practice and they've been trying different gear and just getting things to work. But Tommy Hill looks like he's certainly got his R1 sorted out.
Michael Rutter fastest lap so far, 51.7 is the time, 51.5 on that last lap, so 51.5. Rutter getting quicker. You look at that, it's absolutely sparks of fairing, grinding away on the Vivaldi bike, messing up the paintwork on the Gerard's pavement.
I tell you that Vivaldi's NX10 Kawasaki is handling good, because these guys are not going slow, and to hold off Dean Thomas like that, that bike looks good. He got into the hairpin a little bit late that on the last lap. That allowed Tommy Hill to get past. He's late on the brakes, snaking around.
Well, that's the problem for the boys behind him. Tristan Palmer good on the brakes, and of course they're all backing up behind him, and they just can't get past the Kawasaki. It's quick enough and good enough to keep those works bikes behind them.
These ZX10s out of the box are fantastic bikes, and with not a lot of preparation you can get them into competitive superbike. Hot Kawasaki proved that last year with Scott Smart and Glenn Richards.
Well, it's the Hawk Kawasaki and Dean Thomas that's being seen off by the Vivaldi Kawasaki at the moment. I can't believe how much he's grinding that fairing into the dirt at Gerard's, of course, on the way in. Look at that, the long way round for Dean Thomas. That's a tough way to go. Well, I have to say, superb, but Palmer on the brakes cannot be beaten.
He is strong on the brakes and hits the spot, hits the apex, he gets it turned in. Doing a brilliant job there.
Just looks like it's a very soft motorcycle at the rear end in Gerard's. It's dragging its bum all the way around that corner. Into the hairpin then.
Dean Thomas losing out to Leon Aslan there on the Airwaves Ducati.
Going to be a lot of frustration building up.
Scott Smart up the rear there and Rizla Suzuki.
Frustration is us. Oh, John Reynolds has retired, as well, they've got the old stages retiring at the moment, so it was Jeremy McWilliams and John Reynolds retiring at the pits. Through goes Haslam at last.
Leon on the brakes there, just asserting his authority. Dean Thomas pushed Tristan Palmer wide there, bit of an exchange of paintwork there.
Ben Wilson, Tristan Palmer's teammate, has retired also at the pits at the moment, so one Vivaldi bike out, the other one right in the thick of it. It Wieners. Rutter still leading off the front. Danny Beaumont is the best of the Superbike Cup riders. Danny Beaumont on the 37 bike, out there on the JJL sponsored machine.
Poor old Tristan Palmer's getting duffed up there. See Michael Laverty right inside of him at Edwina's. Sean Emmett in the middle of that bunch, and Scott Smart just going round Tristan Palmer at the hairpin there.
Through the bus stop, on to Devil's Elbow. We're only on lap 6, now on lap 7, of course, because Rutter being out front of this lot has... Tommy Hill absolutely angry and frustrated. That motorcycle is going to have a reduced size tank because Tommy Hill is absolutely frustrated. He was up to 5th place, looking so good for his best position of the year, and he's thwarted. Can't imagine what's wrong with that motorcycle, but he's out.
So Sean Emmett leading Virgin Yamaha rider now in 5th position now.
I've got to say, Michael Laverty on the Eddie Stobbart Honda in 6th place is a superb ride from him. You see him in the middle there, 33. He's right up behind Emmett now. That is a great ride from Michael Laverty. Not a great qualifier, never has been, but certainly the youngster, 23 years old from Tunbridge in Northern Ireland, looking so good at the moment, and a result for Paul Bird.
Well, he can ride a motorbike, there's no question about that. Very talented family.
But you've got to worry whether one of these guys wasn't going to make it to the next round, because they're running 3 riders in there. I spoke to Paul Bird. He didn't seem happy with any of them when I talked to him the other day. He did mention 1 or 2 names that came to the fore as far as his team was concerned that he wasn't happy with.
Murmurs in the paddock.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them.
So many. Mallory Park is it's been the best race meeting I've been to for a long time on the Friday and Saturday. The amount of rumours, speculation and controversy that's going on around here at the moment, it really is at a heightened level, considering we're only at round 3.
Glenn Richards, the 2nd position at the moment, he's holding his own on that last lap. Both riders, both him and Michael Rutter, on exact same lap times, 51.9. So it just takes Michael Rutter to make a slightest little mistake and Glenn Richards will be right there.
Michael Rutter, well, I've seen him make a few unforced errors in his time. Northwest 200, back to short circuits. Mondello last year, of course, unforced error there. Here at Mallory Park last year, don't think it was unforced, it was just he was in a bit of a hurry, I think, at Mallory Park last year, making up positions. So Rutter has been known to make the odd error.
Saying that, yeah, he's just gone 3/10 of the lap at the second faster on that last lap. And you can see visibly the gap is bigger.
Glenn Richards then on the Hawk Kawasaki in 2nd place. I never thought that Glenn Richards would actually beat Michael Rutter today, but I did have that feeling.
still a brilliant ride for Glenn.
I did a piece for the skysports.com website for British Superbikes. You can tune into that if you want to have a look and see whether I've made a complete fool of myself in writing earlier on in the week. And I did say Glenn Richards was a man for a podium here for sure, and for sure he's proved us right, which is unusual as far as any of my comments are concerned.
Without wanting to tempt fate, he's not on the podium yet, but I'm sure he will be stepping up there at some point.
Thanks for that. You are a sage, aren't you, really?
Look at that, your lap record.
51.590. I couldn't believe the times they did in qualifying, albeit, of course, with qualifying tyres on yesterday. 50.5, sorry, for Chianari, a second quicker than they're going at the moment, was, well, almost unbelievable.
Well, Michael Rutter went pole and he did an exceptional lap, but he said he knew if Chianari were to get a clear lap, the chances are that he could even top that, and he did. It was an incredible pole position time.
Here we go then, battle for third place, and it's a huge battle for third place. Leon Haslam has it at the moment on bike 91, then it is Dean Thomas on the other, Hawk Kawasaki. That's the UF Ducati of Leon Haslam. Perhaps not the perfect motorcycle for around here, I've got to say, Ducati, both in Supersport terms and Superbike terms.
Yeah, obviously won races in the past, but Sean Emmett definitely struggled here last year on the Monster Mob Ducati, the 999 Ducati. That bike Leon Haslam was on is the World Championship winning bike, or one of them, of Regis Laconi's or James Toslin's factory Ducati from last year, so certainly the most competitive Ducati in the world.
Scott Smart there on bike 88, the Rizza Suzuki, the only Rizza Suzuki. Shaky Byrne stood next to his old team owner, Paul Bird of Monster Mob, of course. So Shane Byrne is visiting here, and of course we talked about the personal bests going on. 8 consecutive wins in the year he won the British Championship. Chianari definitely isn't going to be, well, he might do actually later on in the season. Of course,
still time yet. Still time yet. Scott Smart making reasonable progress there in the Rizla Suzuki, picking off the riders there. Got in front of Michael Laverty in 6th position at the moment. His lap times very, very strong.
Interestingly, that the dummy was spat a little earlier on in this weekend from Scott Smart.
There was half a dummy came out and it was nipped in the bud before it came fully out, so not a problem. It was dealt with and we all moved on, and it was quite a nice moment. It was the old Scott Smart, and that's why we employed Scott Smart, because he can win races.
Well, he's got a little way to go, dear me. Thank you very much, I'll have that bit of space then. So number 5, Sean Emmett, despite the fact he's got bandages all over his elbow, still prepared to use his elbows. Scott Smart is on the back of that bunch, but you've got to say Sean Emmett is making good, steady, mature progress, and he's aiming for his first podium of the year. And I mean, Rob Mack, well, he'll have another round of golf for that.
He certainly recovered past Rob Mack in pit lane last night, and he had one of these mad laughs on saying, "Oh, 5th row, what's happened?" Fortunately, Sean's been able to turn that around now.
He was well fired up this morning, I think. Dean Thomas, that's as far off it as you get without getting off it. So Dean Thomas regains his stability.
And Scott Smart gains a place on the Rizla Suzuki.
Scary, scary stuff. Look at Dean Thomas. He's hardly lost any space, has he? Michael Laverty must have been ready to find the bailout position as well on bike 33, the headed Stobart bike. Let's take another look at that.
That's just at the part of Gerrard's where you're getting on the power, you're trying to build a bit of speed, giving it a bit of horsepower, giving it a bit of throttle, and that rear tyre, that rear donut let go.
So Scott Smart picks up a place, and Dean Thomas, well, keeps the bike.
Regains his thoughts.
I wonder. Actually, none of them shut off that much, did they? 91 Leon Haslam on the OS Ducati goes through in front of the Virgin Mobile Yamaha R1. Then it is the GSXR 1000 Rizla Suzuki. But still off the front is the HM Plant Honda of Michael Rutter, followed by 75, the Hawk Kawasaki of Glenn Richards. Those are your leading two. This is the battle for third place.
You can see Leon Haslam and Sean Emmett have got different lines round the Gerrard section of this Mallory Park track. Leon Haslam running quite wide, squaring the corner off and pulling it back, and Sean Emmett pole hugging the white line all the way around Gerrard's.
This is a section that Sean Emmett was having trouble with. It was out through the Weeders and up through the Lake S's, up towards the hairpin here. Just couldn't make out why it was going wrong for him in that particular section, but certainly didn't look slow in that particular instance behind Leon Haslam, although he has dropped a fair old bit.
He lost a little
time there, I have to say, by the time he got out the bus stop. So could do better, I think, is the answer to that. But whether it's bike or boy,
they're seesawing a bit all the way around this track. At this section, this is where Sean can catch Leon. He seems to be able to turn tight around Gerrard carry a bit more corner speed and get a bit closer, but he really struggles from the hairpin to the start-finish.
You're right, look at that, right back up there with Leon at the moment. Turning it through Edwinas and right up behind Leon Haslam again, so an enthralling battle between these two. Interesting there, the Yamaha didn't punch out of that chicane either. The Ducati looked like it got more punch, and I wouldn't have thought that would have happened.
Yeah, and that's Sean Emmett's thinking about having to go on the brakes there, because he loses out through the S's there, he doesn't get close enough. This is incredible, this championship. We've got Rutter on a Honda, Richards on a Kawasaki, Haslam on a Ducati,
Emmett on a Yamaha.
Emmett Yamaha and Smart on the Suzuki.
Not bad. Lap 16 on to 25, still Rutter and Richards out front.
Danny Bowman in 8th position, the best of the Cup riders. Very impressive ride for him.
Michael Pensevale has fallen at Gerrard's, but the rider is okay. For those of you keeping an eye on the Superbike Cup Series in this.
Sean Emmett's closer.
And oh, look at Leon Haslam backing it in. I was watching over there with Ron and Anne. That's mother and father, of course, to Leon Haslam. Watching Leon Haslam coming into Edwinas on Friday's practice session, and I have to say, you close your eyes with the way you have to get into that corner so hard.
You just get the feeling there Sean just wants to let the brakes off and run right down the inside, but knows he might not make it. This is the section that Scott Smart seems to get a bit closer.
Danny Beaumont, 8th overall, but the leading Superbike Cup rider, really superb, running Honda Fireblades as well. Honda giving him a little bit of assistance, technical assistance that is, rather than actual anything else as far as financial assistance, but a big change for them has been from Pirelli to Dunlop tyres. They have really credited that change to be the major reason why Danny Beaumont is right on top of things at the moment. The team have gone really big this year, a lot of money being spent there, very well presented team. And I can mention, I suppose, at this moment in time for George and Barbara, who also work within the team. George and Barbara, it's their 41st wedding anniversary. And I know Barbara's going to be really shocked at that, but she makes great tea and great fairy cakes.
There she go. Talking about food, Martin Heath, his mum reckons she's got better profiteroles than Paul Brown's mum makes flapjacks. So,
oh dear, there's a challenge.
Could have a picnic here next time.
Yeah, better have a word with Mara just to make sure that we get the old flapjacks. We don't see much of him nowadays. He'd always be welcome. There is Leon Haslam still hanging on to that 3rd place, but it's under threat from the menacing Sean Emmett. And Emmett, oh, how much would this pay him back for the pain of this year? He's actually threw himself up the road a fair bit and really tried so hard. I have to say, as I said earlier on in the year, Sean Emmett still looking the most focused he's ever been.
Yeah, he's had a steady start to the season, but it's been a solid start, 4th in the championship.
But this is where that bike, and I think it's down to the bike, not down to Sean, just doesn't grunt through those S's. Does not seem to be laying the horsepower down that he needs to put himself in contention at this braking area coming into the hairpin.
Well, Haslam certainly has the fastest top speed out of this bunch on the start-finish straight, and that tells me he's getting out the chicane good, getting good drive round here, round Devil's Elbow, and on to start-finish straight, because he's got 3-4 mile an hour. Certainly on Sean Emmett all that last lap.
Well, one person who isn't going to be lacking from a bit of horsepower, and that is the Rizzo Suzuki of Scott Smart. And Scott Smart now has joined Sean Emmett, so we'll have to wait and see quite what he can manage with that. But this is where Emmett's at his best through Gerrard's. He gets this bike stuck into the turn, and it really does. In the middle of the turn, he just asks for a bit more through the middle and then this exit. And you can see how much he's dropped Scott Smart by. That is a great deal of...
He has Scott Smart having a little bit of a bobble on the Rizzo Suzuki there on the exit of Gerrard's, but he's got the grunt on the straights. There's no question that he's got the horsepower. It's just knowing what to do with it is the problem.
Still number 2, Michael Rutter on the HM Plant Honda, as Ryoichi Kiyanari is sidelined after crashing in part 1 of this. Michael Rutter on the HM Plant Honda leads by 3.361 seconds on the last lap from Glenn Richards on the Hawk Kawasaki. It's now up to 3.5 seconds, so Rutter increasing his advantage over second place Richards. Haslam is 3rd, a further 7 seconds back on Richards, so Haslam is 10 seconds behind the leader at the moment, or thereabouts.
Scott Smart on there is a Suzuki, won here last year, won one race and was 3rd in the other, so he knows this track.
That rear end of that Ducati's just beginning to spin on lap 20, and Haslam is making it work very, very hard to be in 3rd place. I would suggest that with the way the Ducati of both Lavia and Haslam has been working, they've been going pretty good in qualifying, but not as good as they might have expected. And I reckon that if he manages a podium, that will be more than Colin Wright and Darrell Healy, the team owner, actually expected from this race meeting.
Be a major result, because like you said, Mallory Park probably not the best track for the Ducatis.
Having said that, I think Scott Smart is the man that could pinch a third place here if he can just get himself past Sean Emmett. The problem is Sean Emmett is so good in Gerrard's, it's not giving Smarty an opportunity to get with him into the braking area of Ed Wiener's. 2 major places for passes, entries to Ed Wiener's, entry to the hairpin. And, well, he might have an opportunity up into the hairpin, because that's where, look at this, look at, Emmett is so good. Gerrard's and down into Ed Wiener's, but from this point onwards, he just loses it.
Mid-corner, Sean Emmett is stronger, but on the brakes, he struggles a bit against Liam on Airwaves, Ducati.
Gotta say, that Suzuki's not getting out of there that good either.
No, the Ducati's the best through that section. Sean's a completely different line. You can see he can turn it really tight.
Haslam looks across and sees 2 bikes trying to make a pass.
Scott Smart on there is a Suzuki, just building confidence. He's not near where the confidence level he had last year on his ZX10 Hot Kawasaki, but he's getting there, and he just feels like he has to ride, he has to feel the bike rather than just breach in there and see what happens.
74, Kieran Clark on the Hydrex Honda has retired to the pits as, oh, Leon Haslam goes out to the car park line, right out in the dirty stuff, and that's given Emmett every chance he needs now, but can he punch down the back straight? No, is the short answer. The Stebbage straight, not that it's much of a straight anymore. It used to be before they put Ed Wiener's chicane in there. Ed Wiener's, of course, named after Ed Wiener Overend. A fantastic character as far as we were all concerned here at Mallory Park. 91, Haslam at the bus stop.
Scott Smart having a look behind there. There's no one there, Scott. Just keep your head down.
Rutter already over the line, 5 seconds his advantage now over Richards in second place. So HM Plant Honda versus Hawk Kawasaki, very little as far as we can report further than the fact that Richards is losing time rather than Rutter is gaining it, because it's only 5 seconds now, 5.7 seconds between Haslam in third place in this battle that we're actually watching, up to Glenn Richards in second place. But we are on lap 23, so no time for Haslam to close in. Got to say, this is almost looking like these 3 guys are just going to finish in this order, because no one can find an advantage anywhere on this track to make a pass.
Certainly doesn't look like any strong passing points for Sean Emmett or Scott Smart. Leon Haslam, he's happy with that bike going sideways. He's losing rear grip now, but it's not a problem. He's able to get it sideways and back it into the turns. And
already Rutter comes down the hill to start lap 24. He's on. In fact, he's at the end of lap 24, so he's at the end of lap 23. He's on lap 24. There you go. Can't get me great. Oh, depends what monitor I look at here.
This is Leon's weakest point. He tends to run wide. He's struggling with a bit of rear grip there.
15 there is Dean Ellison on the Gentin Racing Yamaha. One of the privateers, of course, but Danny Beaumont is the quickest on the JJL Honda. He's in 9th place overall, but leads from Steve Brogan in the Superbike Cup. Oh, there's the Vivaldi boys. But that is Michael Rutter, no doubt about who that is. 5.8 second lead over the Hawk Kawasaki, and coming round to start his lap 25, the last lap, and take 25 points. And that will do him a whole load of good in the championship at the moment. Michael Rutter, only 69 points for him. He still won't close up right up to the shoulder of Ryuichi Kiyanari, who has 100 points at this moment in time. But certainly this has been an opportunity well taken by Michael Rutter. A for HM Plant, who might have expected a 1-2 here this weekend, but I no doubt will settle for Michael Rutter as race win.
Michelin tyres on that HM Plant Honda, and Michelin, as if they needed to, claim that they've stepped up the game this weekend. They've put even more effort into the job.
I had a long conversation with Michelin in their truck the other day, and we'll have a bit more about that in race 2 for sure, but you can't believe the commitment Michelin have made to the HM Plant team, and indeed Honda have made to Michelin as far as the tyres are concerned.
I can't believe the commitment when we see what they've done in the first 5 races.
Checker flag then, Michael Rutter. Big thumbs up from, it looks like Tadayuki, no, it was Les Pearson that had the big thumbs up for Michael Rutter. And he's okay, but he's unfit for the rest of the day. Michael Rutter taking the win from Glenn Richards, Leon Haslam and Sean Emmett taking a 4th place there. Scott Smart remaining in 5th place. Dean Thomas, after that big slide at Gerrard, slipping to 6th place. Michael Laverty, good result for the Stobbart Hondas, I would say. And Gary Mason there in 8th place. 9th, the best of the Superbike Cup boys, Danny Beaumont on the JJL Honda. Superb from Danny Beaumont. Steve Brogan, 2nd in the Superbike Cup, but 10th in the overall series. John McGuinness in 11th place. Dennis Hobbs, another good Yamaha runner there. Tristan Palmer eventually slipping down to 13th place. Jonathan Ray on the Red Bull rookie bike in 14th. And the last of the main point scorers, James